Hi and welcome to another tutorial. In today's video, you'll learn how to design a magazine layout in InDesign and then make it interactive and trackable with Flipsnack so that you can see how your audience engages with your content. So anyways guys, let's jump in. So the first thing that we need here is we need to have an image. So I'm just going to Adobe Firefly to generate an stylized artificial poppy flower. I've just chosen this one. I'm going to download it and then take it into Photoshop. Once I'm in Photoshop, what we need to do is we need to separate the background from the foreground. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to click on the magic wand tool, click on the background, and then go to select inverse. Once that is selected, I'm going to hold Command and Shift or Control and Shift J, and now I've cut out that flower. So as for the background, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press I for the eyedropper tool, make sure that that blue is colored in, and then I'm going to click the paint bucket tool and make sure that I get a nice solid background. Then I'm going to go to File, Export, and export each of those layers separately. So now we're in InDesign, and what we are going to do is I'm just going to pick the A4 preset, and I'm just going to have probably around about 5 pages. I can leave everything else the same. I'm just going to press create. So now that we have all of our pages, the next thing is, or the first thing is, we are going to start with this spread over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and file place. So Command D or Control D, and then put my background in. And now that I've got my image, I can just put it into that area over there, and then I'm just going to make sure it only goes to half of that spread. Then I'm going to lock that background, and what else am I going to do? I'm going to go and add the flower. So again, File, Place, and I'm just going to draw where I want this flower to go. So probably somewhere around there, and I'm pretty happy with that. So what I can do is I can just lock that. So now once we have that, the next thing that we need to do is we need to add our main heading text. So I'm going to start with the T tool, and I'm going to draw a box that goes from one side to the next. I'm going to increase the font size to probably about 120, and I'm going to change the font to Montserrat Black, and then now I can write my heading. So now I've got my first word in there, future. It's looking pretty cool, and I'll just duplicate that by holding Option. And so now I can write the next word, which is going to be bloom. And this is now also, if I right click on this and go to arrange, send backwards. And if I do that again, you will see that it goes underneath the text over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to arrange the heading just so it fits like that. And then what I need to do is I need to change the color of this text over here. So in order to change the color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my swatches, and I'm just going to create a new swatch, and I'm going to double click inside of that color. I'm going to change the color mode to RGB, and then I'm just going to pick that orange as one of my swatches, and then I'm going to put a new swatch in there, double click, and then make sure that I go to this pink over here. So now I've got orange and pink in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the text. I'm going to make sure that I'm on my fill, change it to a gradient, and if I double click on that, now I can add my colors into this gradient. So I'll get rid of the white and I'll just keep the orange, and I'll put the pink one in there as well. And now I've got orange and pink, and I'm probably gonna go maybe around about 180 degrees, and if you want to reverse it, you can as well. So now I have my text in there, and that's looking good, and it has the gradient on there, and that's excellent. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the bars across the top and the bottom. So I'm going to grab the line tool, I'm going to draw a line from one side to the other. I'm going to make sure that I click on the stroke, and I'm going to use that same gradient. If I open up the properties and increase the stroke size to about 2, now when I preview that, now you can see that I've got this cool gradient that's happening over there. Cool, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate that gradient. So I'm going to click on it, hold Option, and then make sure I go to the other side, and I'm going to do the same for the bottom as well. So now I've got a gradient on the top and on the bottom. Cool. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to add a text box up here that says design culture. So all I'm going to do is just open up a text box. So now on my text box, if I press Command B, I will bring up the text frame options. And what I want to do is I want to align it to the center. So now I have my text box all aligned up there as well. And that's looking pretty nice. While I'm here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate that and put it down in this bottom corner, and then I'm just going to write June 2026. Cool. So now the next thing is to just have a little bit of text over here. So again, I'm just going to grab my design culture and I'm just going to duplicate it and put it down here, and I'll just change the heading to whatever I had inside this issue. Now the next thing is to just create another text frame over here, which will have what's inside the issue. So I'm just going to paste that in, and I'll just make that text box a little bit bigger so that it has all of that area over there. So now we're ready to do the other side. So what I'm going to do is the first thing is I need to import the flower that will go here. So again, I'm just going to go to File, Place, and I'm just going to draw the area that the flower will go into, just like that. Cool. So now I need a heading on this side. So what I'm going to do is I can always copy what I've got already, and I'm just going to again use the same font that I had before. And if I go and press Command B, make sure that it's in that center alignment, now I will have the font in there ready to go. The next thing that we need to add is we need to add some placeholder text. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a text box, and then if I go into fill with placeholder text, now I've got my text in there. The other thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that the text wraps around here. So if we go to window and then if we go to text wrap, and so when you open up your text wrap options, I'm just going to make sure that I wrap around the object. And then if I go to the contour options, and if I just go to detect edges, now you'll see it will wrap around those edges, and that's looking pretty cool. So the bit in here that we need is another heading. So I'm just going to copy this over, and then I'm going to paste my heading in there. And so now I've got that heading, which is using a solid color of the pink that was in here, and I'll just make it fit in there a little bit nicer, just like that. Then the other thing that I had in here was some more text. So I would probably just grab this, just have enough space at the bottom for my final heading. And once I put my heading in there, then I can rearrange my text box to fit exactly like that. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial on how to get a spread. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fill in the rest of the magazine and then take it into Flipsnack. Cool. So now once you have your document and it's ready to go, all you need to do is export that. So if you go to File, Export, then you can export it and upload it into Flipsnack. Now, if you're looking for a faster way to upload your PDFs into Flipsnack, you can always go to Adobe Exchange and download the Flipsnack plugin, which will actually export it into Flipsnack. But once you're happy with that, let's go to Flipsnack and then import our document. Cool. So now once you're in Flipsnack, all you have to do is create and upload your files. So now once you've uploaded your files, now you will see your document in here, and already it looks amazing, just like that. So now we're going to customize it a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some branding here. So I'm just going to go and add my logo in here. Now you can already see that I've added my logo already, and I've already uploaded it into Flipsnack. So now all I have to do is just go to insert, and now it will be in there. I can even have a link here if I want, so I can put a link to my YouTube channel, etc. I can change the accent color if I want, and make it in line with whatever I have. So now you can see the accent color has been changed. Then I can also change the background to another image or a color if I want. And all I have to do is just click on that. And then if I go and grab the eyedropper tool, I can change it to whatever color that I like. So probably I'll keep it to something like that. And I think that is looking pretty cool as it is. So now let me show you some other things that you can do in here as well. If you go to the appearance, all your appearance settings are here, where you can change it from a flip to a scroll. You can allow people to download the PDF as well. So there's a download button in there. You can add some audio in here as well, or you can allow them to print from here as well. So there are a whole range of options that you can have a look at. And then if you go into edit, and then if you click edit flipbook, now you can get into the design of what it is that you want to actually do. So in here, you know, there are a whole range of templates if you need to add any template things to your document. There are a whole range of interactions as well. So we can do things like, add some navigation. We can add like a shop area, spotlight, slideshow, etc. There's text as well, that if you need to add some text templates and things like that, you can just quickly drag them out and they will go automatically inside of your PDF. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add a video in here. So if I go to interactions and then go to video embed, and now I've got a spot for my video. So all I have to do is go down to my video URL, and now I have that video in there as well. And so when I preview that, now you can see that the video is in there and it pops up nicely as well. So the other thing that I want to show you in here, what you can do is you can add a link button. So if I click on the link button, now I have a link in there, and now I've got this area over here that I can set to my link. So let's just say I put it to my YouTube clip, and now if I preview that, now I have that as a link over there, and you can see that it's taking me to that URL. So that's pretty cool. So now if you don't want the video to be in a player like this, there is also a video button that you can do that's consistent with the link button, and you can also paste your link in there as well. So now when you go to preview, now you can see you have a link if you want, or a video link if you want, that will take you externally to YouTube. Cool. So now let me show you how easy it is to make text that already appears on your magazine clickable. All you need to do is go to interactions, link area, and then drag this box down over where you want that clickable link. So now I've got this area on my document as a link. All you need to do is set your URL in here. And once you have your URL, it's pretty much ready to go. If I click preview, now you can see that when I hover over it, you can see that it even changes color, and it will take me to that external link. Now, if you don't like the color or anything like that, you can always come back up to here and you can change the color to something that is more aligned with your document. So there are heaps of other cool things that you can add in there as well. Like you can add some audio buttons, you can add your social accounts as well, and I'll show you how to do that. So on the last page over here, let's say for example, I want them to go and visit Instagram. So I'm just gonna have my Instagram link there, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll just paste my Instagram account in there, and when I preview that, now I've got that as a clickable link as well. So we have all the icons in here. So let's say for example, we want YouTube as well. And if we go back to interactions, we can add maybe like WhatsApp as well. And the cool thing is that they look all consistent as well. So now I have all my icons all ready to go. And when I preview that, they're all clickable links. So I think that has done an amazing job at creating a very interactive flipbook from an InDesign document. So now the final thing I want to show you is how to actually share it. So once you click on this button share, Now you can set the visibility to public, you can put your title in there, and you can click on publish. And once you have your published flipbook, it already comes with all the customization that we did before. So it comes with the video and the links that we had and all of our socials at the bottom. And you can see our branding in the top left-hand corner. So now you can share this link. So once you get the link, you can share it however you want. But if you have a look at some of the sharing options, you can share it as a QR code, you can embed it, or you can directly share it to your socials within Facebook, X, WhatsApp, etc. And once you've done that and people are actually clicking on your links and your interactive PDF, you can go and check out the statistics. So I'll show you another example. So here is another example of a flipbook that I did, a few weeks back, and you can see the statistics here. So overall, you can see your views, impressions, clicks, how long they spent on it, the date that they viewed it, where they are coming from in terms of their location, the devices that they're on, etc. So once you have that information, then you can further refine your flipbooks to create, things that people are actually interested in. So that's it for this quick tutorial on how to create a magazine layout in InDesign and using Flipsnack. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.